This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And bittersweet feelings over here as today, Grace will be telling us her last episode of Kim Possible for now.
For now.
Because there's a lot more material there to work with,
yeah.
particularly, or perhaps over the holidays, perhaps in another future arc, because we do love this show, as our 32-year-old selves have now learned. It has taken us this long to learn that we love this show, and we hope you have too. But Grace is going to wrap up her portion of the arc. We've only got one more episode after today's, and then we're moving on to a new show. But Grace, tell us about another ass-kicking adventure from our mercenary teenage boss babe, Kim Possible, and her good old friends, Wade and Ron, and Rufus, of course.
And don't forget
Never
Rufus,
forget
Alexis.
Rufus. Never. I just save the best for last, always.
Alexis. Alexis, we're the same person. Always, baby. So here's the situation, Alexis. I feel like I've listen up, pull up here. Okay, so I feel like I've done like 2 episodes that, focused on our girl Kimmy. I did an episode that was kind of more focused on Ron, kind of Wade, and their kind of like own little adventure there. You've done an episode each about each of Kim's parents. And so it only made sense.
A lot of coverage.
A lot of coverage. But we haven't covered them all. It only made sense to me to do my final episode that's centered on the most important, our favorite member of Team Possible. We saved the best for last, the most nakedest mole rat of them all. Rufus. Sir Rufus.
Sir Rufus. Knighted, indeed.
Knighted, Sir Rufus.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh my gosh. Not only for you to tell it, but also to watch an episode that is Rufus focused.
Yes, Rufus drives this forward. Yes, and this is season 2, episode 1, entitled Naked Genius.
Oh, is he ever? Is he ever? Oh, I'm so excited. Naked Genius. Let's go. All right, Rufus.
Let's go,
do your
Rufus.
thing, boy.
So we'll get to Rufus driving the plot here in a minute, but we start first, perhaps at our least favorite, or at least my least favorite class, math.
Agreed.
The students, are getting pop quizzes back, which naturally Kim got an A on her pop quiz. And naturally we see that Ron got an F on his. And as the teacher is handing back his pop quiz, she starts laughing, cackling even, as flames erupt behind her. It all goes red, and Ron wakes up from his nap.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. His nap
almost had me there.
That he was taking in math class, though, which is probably why we do see his pop quiz get returned with an F on it still in real life.
He's like waiting for the flames to appear. Like, wait a minute.
I had you with the flames, but not with the F. That was still real.
Nice.
So Kim sees this and reprimands Ron for getting yet another F, and he rolls his eyes as she gives him what turns out to be a common lecture in his life, that he is not living up to his full potential. But they're interrupted by a call from Wade, who says that an underground defense lab has been breached, and so they need to get there ASAP. And this is so funny. From your last episode, I had to keep my mouth shut that you went to a naval base. But they get there, and this is a full-on underground military base. And Kim and Ron aren't just we don't just see them walk in. We see them meeting with a general or something like that.
Okay, so they've got their ID cards and everything, full-on government contractors. They have access to some of the confidential information and secret codes. Oh, sorry, I'll let you keep going.
Some? Alexis, I'm befuddled, first of all, by yes, the status of Kim's work and website. Because I mean, like, I guess governments use mercenaries to like pass the buck on operations they like don't want to get their hands dirty
Exactly.
on. But like,
Exactly.
damn, they're just meeting with the mercenaries in this underground lab. And then I question even more because this military commander they're meeting with, he actually doesn't know what's in the lab that was breached. It's beyond his security clearance, but Kim and Ron get to go in there and figure it out.
Of course.
So
Of
like,
course. He's like, I'm not allowed in, but you guys can go ahead and
but this
take
is
a
why we
look
called you.
around. Yeah.
Let yourself in. Have
You're
at it.
higher up the chain than I am, Kim and
Yeah,
Ron and
literally.
Rufus. Can you and Wade? Can you guys go check this out?
Get this things. Yeah. So thus me
Crazy.
being like, some secrets, they got all the secrets. Based on
Oh,
kimpossible.com, she can do anything.
she can do anything.
Insane.
Oh man.
So just as they're like in this like control center in this underground defense lab, one of the folks in there, probably Wade hacking into the system, honestly, are able to
Mm-hmm.
crack into this defense system's like own security system. And basically they get to see like what is this breach. They're able to like patch into like the lab that this breach happened in.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that in this lab, there's a single chair that has this like helmet on it that honestly just looks like a dryer or like a heat treatment chair in a salon.
Yeah, okay.
So like
Okay.
someone's having the
So
best hair day is what this
it's
device
like
could be.
the secretary, this is just where the Secretary of Defense gets his perm done.
Yeah. It's actually a toupee and they can't know it, so he comes
Yeah.
here. Super
Highly
secret.
secret, highly classified. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that's exactly just what it looks like. It's blue. It's just sitting there in the middle of this big old like cavernous lab. And
Okay.
bursting through one of the walls of this lab, we see Draken and Shigo, of course. They're probably arguing, I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, besides the giant hole that they've just burst in the side of the wall with like some giant drill that they've like been caverning through the earth with, I guess,
Yeah.
this lab, Shigo and Draken have fully on lockdown. Like none of like the doors impenetrable right now. They're locked from the inside out type of thing.
Hmm.
But there is a ventilation system they notice.
Okay.
But this is a secure ass place still. Like it's not a human sized ventilation system in ducks.
Yeah.
But who does a secret military base hate to see come in? A naked mole rat, baby.
Don't you know it?
So they put the tiniest little hard hat on Rufus.
Mhm.
And he wiggles right into that tiny little vent.
Oh, do your work, little man. Do your work.
Unfortunately, the fan is on though in the vent. So as soon as he gets in here, he just gets like yeeted into the gust of the fan and he is like screaming and soaring, but
Mhm.
Rufus is tough. Rufus is
Yeah.
also a
Yeah.
mercenary. Don't you
This
forget.
is true. This is
He's part of
true.
the team. He's able to save himself. Like you thought rescue rangers were tough?
Oh God. Just wait till you meet a naked mole rat. It's
They're
when you take
terrified of Rufus.
when someone is able to strip down and do these things,
And
that's a
kill a
wild
man.
card. Kill a man. You don't know what you're gonna expect from this.
Chippendale could
Chippendale, they
never.
always had clothes on, okay?
They at least had shirts on.
Yeah.
They were the toughest of their gang because they didn't have pants on, but they wouldn't take their
Yeah.
shirth off like
They would never
Rufus.
take those shirts off.
Rufus
No,
is
no,
like,
no.
I am not gonna stain my white linen with your blood. I'm above it.
It's like almost Rambo-esque, like where he, or
Yes.
no, sorry, I'm mixing it up,
Um,
like the Predator, where
yes,
he
I was
would
saying
like drench
covering in
himself in
mud.
mud. Yeah. He's like, take off all the clothes, full
Full
naked,
mud. They
cover
can't find him
in
now.
mud. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
So,
Okay.
yes, luckily Rufus is a badass and is able to stop himself at the exact like point in the vent, the exact duct he needs to. And he's
Hmm.
able to sneak out of the vent and into the lab itself where he's able to kind of sneak around the corners and in the shadows of like this cavern and actually unlock one of the doors that Draken and Shigo had locked from the inside without them
Mm.
noticing. And thus,
Mhm.
Ron and Kim are able to bust in to this lab, thanks to Rufus. And they get in there just as Draken is about to sit down in the chair to, I don't know, get a blowout, I guess. And that's Shigo,
He's
who clearly
waiting.
is like, I woke up like this. I don't need
She
a
was like,
blowout.
it's genetic and unattainable.
Yeah,
Like
stop
literally
trying.
for her because she is like a superhero or supervillain, I guess, but like has
Exactly.
powers. It's like, no, yeah,
Genetically
stop
modified and
trying.
unattainable.
Yeah.
So yes. So as Draken was about to sit down, there is kind of like a control panel across the lab, and Shiga was starting to get stuff going on it, like hitting some buttons and stuff.
Mhm.
And as per usual, a fight immediately breaks out among all of them. Chaos ensues. Kim and Shigo are fighting for control of the machine. And in chaos that breaks out between like Draken and Ron, they kind of like stumble upon each other, like, and run into some other furniture, like lab equipment that was there. And in this like bedlam, Draken gets a hold of Rufus
No.
and puts Rufus in his pocket. And seeing
No.
this, Ron goes full fucking feral mode on him. Like,
Mm.
there's some cart nearby or something like that, and Ron takes it and just goes like full speed, like seeing red. He's a bull in this moment. Draken
Oh
is the
no.
matador. Like,
Oh no.
fully rams into him, like sending Draken flying across this lab because
Betty's
Ron's
gonna remember
pissed.
Ron's name now. Go ahead.
Probably not because he's concussed as hell, most likely,
Yeah,
after that hit, let me
true.
tell
Also
you.
true.
But unfortunately, the direction Draken flies is right back into that salon chair.
Oh no.
And Shigo sees this and able, while she's kicking Kim, to like kick, or while she's fighting Kim, she's able to kick the like on lever or button like that, or something like that.
Hmm.
And the dryer lowers down on to Draken's head. Right as we notice that while Draken was flying across the room, someone else was, who had flown out of Draken's pocket.
No.
Little Rufus, who, as he was flying in kind of the same trajectory, lands right on Draken's head as the helmet
Oh no.
comes
Of course.
down on all of them and
Mm.
gets fired up. And we see some like electric currents happening, some like lightning looking stuff going on, I'm pretty sure. Kind of looks like an
Hmm.
electric chair. I'm not going to lie to you at this moment.
Oh
Not great,
no.
but
What?
probably
Hey.
okay. This is Guantanamo, it turns out. I just didn't know it.
Oh
Just
God.
kidding.
This is why Draken needs to research the things he's trying to steal before.
Literally, yeah, we don't know what this is still. It has not
Yeah.
been told to me yet. Or at least I haven't told you
Oh
about it
no.
yet.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, save the best for last, aka Rufus, because this is actually the end of
The
this is
end
like
of
the end of
Rufus.
Rufus's arc. Yeah, it's like,
Exactly.
oh
Yeah, I saved the last because it is the last for
no.
Rufus.
Yeah.
But very quickly,
Mm.
the helmet rises, and Draken laughs, saying that it, whatever it is,
Yeah.
worked. And he and Shigo escape as Ron and Kim help each other out from the fight because they were kind of like got knocked over.
Yeah.
And we see Rufus like fall out from the helmet where he like sploots onto the floor. And we
Oh.
see him like get up, and his eye twitches for like a quick second. But
Uh-oh.
he shakes his little head, dusts himself off, and just goes and rejoins Kim and Ron as they all head home. A little bit of a oopsies to the military that, on the whole,
Yeah.
not letting Draken use whatever this salon chair situation was, but like,
Thing. Yeah.
he
So
didn't take
also
it.
did yeah, exactly. It's still there and
Yeah.
it's not
Uh-huh.
broken. So like pay
Probably.
up.
Yeah.
Wade will send you
Lloyd
our
voice. Yeah.
account number. Yeah. So did Draken realize that Rufus landed on his head, or was
No.
it like a okay, like
Nope,
a
it was
slick
like
little
landed right as it came down. Electric current, electric current,
and
electric
then
current.
too much going
Probably
on? Yeah.
Rufus was probably flying around in that as that electric current
Going
was happening.
crazy. Poor
So
boy.
then when Draken left, then Rufus fell.
Okay.
Probably like
Gotcha.
fully. If he had had fur, it would have been poofed out like
Oh,
crazy,
poor
but
boy. Good
he's
thing he's
naked.
naked. See, this is why he's naked. He knows this
Exactly.
isn't his
It's a
first rodeo.
liability.
Yeah.
So you can't wear a braid in a fight. They'll grab your braid. No hair.
Right. Or, exactly. You don't want him to take hair samples, get your DNA, pull up a whole ID
Exactly.
on you. There's
Yeah,
levels
Rufus, you're
to
not getting
this.
nothing here.
Yeah.
Rufus is the most dangerous of them all for sure.
Yes. He knows.
So they go head back to Kim's house where tonight she's babysitting her brothers and Ron's hanging out with her while they're doing some homework. Wade has been calling in, trying to tutor Ron with some math, but is getting too frustrated by how stupid Ron is, basically.
I feel you, Wade.
Not wrong. But Kim is like, I'll take over. It's easier in person, anyways. But
Yeah.
first, I got to go wrangle my brothers who are like blowing something up in the backyard. And then, Ron, I'll come back in, help you out a little bit. So Ron is like, okay, great, thanks. I'll keep working on my homework while you do that. But he's, tapping his pencil on his textbook. He's running those hands through his hair. He's getting frustrated because he just can't figure out this math problem, this algebra problem. And Rufus is chilling by the textbook, just watching Ron, clearly feeling sympathetic for his best friend. And
Mhm.
Ron is like, Rufus, I'm never going to get this. Like, I have the chances of I understand as much algebra, like, as you do, Rufus. And he, like,
Mm.
kind of chucks his pencil down in frustration. And we see Rufus look at the pencil, look at Ron, look at the textbook, look at the pencil, look at Ron, look at the textbook. And then he just nods and he picks up Ron's pencil. And with a little furrowed brow, he starts doing Ron's math homework, not missing a beat or an answer.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Ron is stoked.
Not terrified.
No, someone's doing his homework for him.
Yeah, I guess.
Math homework? Come
True, of all
on.
things. I was like, if it was English, I'd be a little concerned, but math, go for it,
Yeah.
buddy. I'm not scared.
Ron's seen Rufus kill a man. Come on. Math homework?
True. This is true. The least
What's
of
the
our
big
concerns about Rufus.
deal?
Yeah.
So, and what's the big deal?
Interesting.
Taking a load off of Ron's shoulders. It's hard out
Yeah,
there for Ron.
it is.
So at school that week, Ron is pretty proud of himself and he's kicking back in math class with his feet up, like nodding at Kim, just being like, yeah, watch this shit, basically. Because
Wow.
he's waiting for that homework to be passed back, which it's handed out. Kim's getting another A probably on it. Ron gets his passed back again. He's making eyes at everyone in the class, just like, motherfuckers don't know what's
Hmm.
coming to you.
Yes.
And he has an F on his homework still.
Oh, poor Rufus. Okay. Okay.
Ron is flabbergasted and like you is like, hold on, that's not what should happen here. So
I just
he,
assume Rufus is a genius if he can do that. I'm like,
yeah,
well,
so
I
did
guess then maybe a
Ron.
naked mole rat didn't do the math right.
Yeah.
It's just like scribbles
Yeah.
and like paw
Ron just
prints.
doesn't know any better. He
Yeah.
like doesn't know like I know they're learning like sine and cosine and he's like, I don't know, is that what that is? I don't know what these symbols look like.
I don't know what this means.
Sure.
Yeah.
But no, Ron is flabbergasted because he thinks that he was correct or Rufus was correct.
Yeah.
And he begins arguing with the teacher. He is able to see other kids' homework, like Kim's who got it all right and same answers. And
Hmm.
so he's like, what the hell? Like, I was right. All these answers are right. Why'd you give me an F? And the teacher stops him and explains, like, yes, these answers are correct, but there's no way that you, Ron Stoppable, did this yourself.
Oh no, he got
You
outsmarted by a naked mole rat.
cheated, not just because your answers were right,
Yeah.
but because all of the work you showed around your answers, like the extraneous work that you did around this,
Yeah.
doesn't just show your understanding of algebra or just calculus. This is advanced chaos theory math.
Not chaos theory. Oh my God, Rufus, you little scoundrel. What
You
is happening?
scoundrel.
It's about to be picked up by like Wall Street. Like, bro, we need your mind to predict everything for
Every
us.
crash that's about to
Like,
happen.
exactly. Like, we have 50 variables for you to work into these equations. Please, Rufus, help us. That's hilarious.
So
Not, oh my God.
now,
Wow, sorry.
Alexis,
Yes.
you seem to know what advanced chaos math is, but you're probably wondering, what is chaos
What is
theory?
advanced chaos math?
What's chaos theory? You might be
Yeah.
wondering. And you know what? So am I, because there was no way in hell I was going to try and figure out how to explain chaos theory. But could you imagine if I did?
I would love it. Yeah.
I can't even
You,
fully explain how a coup happens in a complicated country. I'm going to go
uh,
into what? Chaos theory? No.
no.
This show is chaos theory.
Yeah. Honestly, the fact that they even thought to bring it up in this is chaos, is chaotic. I'm
Exactly.
yeah, no, but I do not, aside from what I just said, joking about it, like that, I do not know actually what it, and okay, as a fan of Jurassic Park and
Oh,
Jeff
yes,
Goldblum, obviously that's like the
obviously.
extent that I know of chaos theory.
Life always finds a way.
Just because we
So,
can doesn't mean we should.
what is it? Man inherit or God inherits man, man inherits earth, man
Yeah,
dies,
a man
woman
dies.
inherits
Got it.
earth.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. I don't know how that
Uh,
whole quote goes, but it ends with
something
woman
along those
inheriting
lines.
earth, said by Jeff
Yes.
Goldblum, who's never wrong. So,
As
anyways,
we've discussed on
yes,
this podcast before, I'm pretty sure, by the way.
endless. He's our
Not our first time
unofficial
talking about
mascot.
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah.
One of our many.
Yeah. I think he would approve and
Yeah, he'd
consent.
be fine with it.
Anyways.
So, anyways, Ron very cleverly retorts with, no, no other person did this for me, like did his homework for him.
Mm.
Not wrong. Ron,
He's
he is chaos theory
technically
too. Let's be
technically
honest.
correct, the best kind of correct.
Yeah, kind of correct, yes. And
Hmm.
the teacher is like, fine, you're gonna prove it then.
Yeah,
And she
he
goes
walked
up. I
into
mean,
that one.
she's not wrong to do this, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. And he walked into that one. I mean, she's seen his work and
Yeah,
she knows
exactly.
this was not it.
It's
Yeah.
not, yeah, this ain't it.
Hmm.
So the teacher walks up to the chalkboard and scribbles out a bunch advanced equations up there and is like, well, let's see your work. And so Ron, he's put on the spot. He's really pulling a Casey Anthony in like Universal Studios, being like, "Yeah, I work here," giving a tour to the cops, being like, "Yeah,
No.
hey, Stacey,
I do. It's me,
I work."
guys. You remember me?
You remember me? I work here.
Yeah.
Because Ron slowly walks up to that chalkboard. Kim is just shaking her head at him. She doesn't know what's up, but she knows this also ain't
It's
Ron.
about to go
Like,
bad.
yeah. Ron sweating bullets up there. He
Mm.
looks one last look at the class, turns to the chalkboard, takes that piece of chalk in his hand, and is just staring, unsure how to like undig this hole he's found himself in. But we hear a little squeak, 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 and we see some movement going up Ron's sleeve because don't forget he wears long
Mhm.
sleeves, baggy clothes and long sleeves. And we see
Mhm.
at the very end of his sleeve a little naked bald head poke out and nod at Ron. And at this, we hear a swell, Alexis, of violins, of string instruments. And Ron's hand starts flying, dancing perhaps across this chalkboard as we get a combination of two perfect films that I never knew needed to be
I'm
one.
I'm on the edge of my
Ratatouille
seat.
and Goodwill Hunting.
This whole time I've been just waiting to drop those references to both. I'm just, thank you. Good. Yes. I was going to say, Grace, you're just telling me the plot of Ratatouille right now. And so many times I just wanted to say, like, oh, Captain, my captain, or something like that. Like, Oh man.
So, yes,
Mm-mm-mm.
Rufus is there directing Ron's arm, not just through the equations, but expanding upon theories, breaking barriers, solving world problems, all in this high school algebra classroom.
Mm.
By the end, the teacher is sobbing, saying the
Beautiful.
world has a new prodigy. There was Aristotle, Newton, Einstein, and now stoppable.
Unstoppable. Kim is probably pissed because she knows something's up here too. I can
Put a little
feel
pin in
it.
that, a
Okay.
short-ish pin in that. But
I
I
can
will
just
say,
feel her seething.
yeah, she's definitely arms crossed at this, but a little
Yeah.
pin in that. And Ron turns around, being like, phew, we got through that. We'll never have to deal with that again. And then he turns and hears the teacher and sees her sobbing, sees everyone
Mhm.
like mouths dropped, and his face also drops because he's still digging that hole, he realizes.
Yes. Yeah, they're not going to stop talking about this moment.
We cut to a conference where mathematicians from all around the world have flown in to hear from this prodigy. Ron is on stage. They're all hurling questions at him. He's like broken and disproven all their theories, written new
Hmm.
ones on that one single chalkboard. Again, this is Goodwill Hunting happening here. And now
Yes.
he is the janitor. He is Matt Damon. He is
Yes.
Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg, yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Is
Wait, no,
he?
it was
Yeah,
Matt
yeah.
Damon.
It's
No, it
Matt
was Matt
Damon. Yeah,
Damon in
Matt
it.
Damon and Ben Affleck.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, of course.
Yes,
The
yeah,
two of
yeah.
them.
You're the other one from Boston. Or
I
is
said
Mark
that's the
Wahlberg from
third
Philly?
Bostonian here.
Boston, yeah, they're from
Yeah,
Boston.
exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
they're Boston
confusing.
boys. They're some
Super
Boston boys for
Bostonian.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yes, we see Ron up there, still sweating bullets. He does not know what to do with it. He's just at a podium and he's got a little old school projector next to him up on the screen
Yeah.
here. But Ron thinks pretty quick and he says, why tell you what I discovered when I can show you? And he goes to
Okay.
the projector screen where Rufus crawls up his little sleeve again and
Hmm.
starts once again working all of these problems as the crowd gasps. And Ron, I will say, he's not eating this up. Ron is like looking from Rufus to the crowd to the teacher who's just standing there on the side. And he whispers to Rufus,
Oh my
just,
God.
just one more equation. I think they'll let us go free. So, like, they're hostages to academia
He's
now.
being held captive. Yeah. He's
Yes.
a hostage to math.
Yeah, exactly. So
Uh,
let's take that pin out right now because Kim is watching
hmm.
this from the crowd in disbelief and she is talking. She calls Wade on the communicator and she's like, I think there's an imposter who replaced Ron. She's like, something happened to Ron. He's
At
been
some point.
replaced. This is not the real Ron. Like we
Yes.
have the clone protocol for a reason. We got to enact it. Like
The
this
clue.
is not correct.
Execute order 66.
66. And so, yeah, she's like, this is not okay. Obviously, she doesn't see Rufus be in a little ratatouille situation. But
Hmm.
Wade is like, Kim, calm down. Like this, you're over exaggerating. Like this, Ron is not some prodigy. Again, obviously, Wade's not in the room. He's not
Yeah.
some like genius prodigy like Kim. It's fine. It's like probably just
Yeah.
some fluke situation.
Exactly. Let it
And
pass.
let
Let him
it
have
pass.
his
Get over
15
it.
minutes of fame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get over it,
Oh,
Kim. You
true though.
can't.
It's not all about you,
It's
Kim.
not. I know it's called Team Possible, but there's
And I
other
know the
people
show is
carrying this
called
weight.
literally Kim Possible,
Impossible. But
but
you
it's
guys would be
not all
fucking
about
nothing without
you.
me.
Yeah.
But then Kim says, "Oh, is that so? Just get over it, Wade." Well, in order to get into Mensa, you need 132 on an IQ test. I went and looked that up. And she
Okay.
tells Wade, Ron got a 186. And
Oh,
Wade literally spits his soda out and screams that that's 40 points higher than Wade's own IQ.
wow. And now he's like, okay,
Now
something is
Wade
wrong.
agrees.
Yeah.
Something is fishy right here and now in this conference hall.
Okay, just unpeel that for a second. Wade is totally fine with Ron being smarter than Kim.
Yeah, pish posh, because
He's
he's
like,
still
yeah, I don't give
smarter
a
than
fuck about
Kim.
your intelligence.
Wade's like, I'm still way smarter than you, Kim. I'm fine. You guys still need me.
Further proving he is the best character, second best character on this show.
Yes,
I
yes.
love
And
it.
then, yes, then he learns that Ron is smarter with him and threatening his place.
Yeah, absolutely
That
not.
dumbass? No, no,
No, no, no.
not fan. Not today. But before Kim and Wade can investigate further, and before Ron and Rufus can escape in this academic hell, we see, yes, the math teacher, who is essentially like Ron's agent now, like grab him from the
It pays much
stage.
better.
Oh, absolutely. And we get a montage of her dragging Ron and Rufus on basically like a press junket around the world.
Oh,
They
Lord.
go and solve problems at the International Space Station.
Oh, God.
They create the first cold fusion reactor.
Okay.
Rufus casually finishes an unknown symphony by like Mozart or something like
Oh,
that.
he's just all sorts of genius.
He's all it, not just math, honey. Rufus,
Mm-mm. It's math, it's physics, it's
it's
engineering,
it's
it's
because none of that hair is weighing him
classics.
down. He's
He's a
naked and
free man,
free. He's a free rat, baby.
free mole
A
rat.
free bitch, baby.
Hmm
And at one of the press conferences, a reporter asks what Ron has to say for himself, and with bags under his eyes, Ron just goes, I just want to pass algebra. And they all erupt into laughter. This prodigy's got a sense of humor too. He's single,
Oh,
ladies.
it's like basically like Doogie Howser. Like, oh, look at this little kid
Oh,
doctor. He says the
him.
cutest childish things. All right, go save this person's life
Yeah,
now.
get on it,
He's
kid.
so cute. Ha ha ha.
That's the
Ugh.
darndest things. And between press events and world problem solving, Kim and Wade finally corner Ron. Like he's back at school for one day, or, Wade on the communicator. And they press him on
Mhm.
how the fuck he's been able to do all this.
Yeah.
But Ron ain't no snitch. He's not about to rat out his rat. So
Mhm.
he stands his ground and he's just like, I was a late bloomer, perhaps. Like, you don't
Yeah.
know me.
Yeah.
But Wade, Kim's like, oh, fuck, I'm doubting my best friend. Wade is like, Kim, let me
Mm.
take over.
Yeah.
Move aside, Kimberly.
Kim's not strong enough to keep it real with you,
Yeah.
Ron.
Kimberly, and pass me over.
Give
Piranha.
me the phone.
Put this faker on.
Yeah.
So Wade challenges Ron to like a code off or something like that. And
Mm.
so they get on the
Okay.
computer, but of course Rufus is still just typing away
Yeah.
for Ron, and they can't see him because Ron's hands covering him while they type.
Yeah.
And Rufus and Ron get every single question right. And you see
Wow.
Wade like going from like, I got this to like disbelief. He's going
Panicking.
through the stages
Yeah.
of grief, denial,
Oh,
dis disbelief,
just believe, yeah.
anger, and then eventually a very, very
Acceptance.
sad acceptance. His shoulders slump, and he admits that Ron must be a genius.
Hmm.
And at this,
Mm-mm-mm.
the teacher comes back and takes Ron out of class again for whatever next thing he's off to go solve, another conference he has to go speak at.
Yeah.
But seeing that interaction between like Ron and Wade, Kim kind of shakes off the like, I didn't believe my best friend thing. She's like, oh, yeah, there's no way that he's smarter than Wade. Like, I saw it
Yeah.
live, face to face, mano y mano here, and this cannot be true. Like, Wade's the smartest
Yeah.
person in this planet. There's no
Hmm
way. So Kim reflects back on like the last few weeks of like Ron's actions. When did this
When did this begin?
start?
Yeah.
Exactly. And she realizes it all started at that mission to that lab. And so
Mm.
she and Wade track down, aka, I assume, hack, or they just have access due to their security clearance, whatever like government agency database that
They still
housed
hack
this
into it
lab.
just for fun. Just like,
Wade
yeah, we
needs the
don't need
boost.
to, but yeah,
Wade's
exactly.
like, I
Watch
just
what
want
I
to
can
prove I
do.
still can. I'm still
Kim's like,
valuable.
wait, we have the password. We know
No,
how to turn off
I
the
need
firewall.
this.
No, let me hack. I need
I
this. Poor
Kim, I've
boy.
never asked you for a favor once. Do this for me, okay?
Please.
You know what? Call them and warn them that I'm coming to hack too, so they make it harder. Please, please
Make it
get
even harder.
I need
Put a few
this.
booby traps in there while they're at
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Some malware.
Yeah, exactly. So they are indeed able to track down the inventor who made this weird salon chair situation thing. And Kim decides that she needs to go pay him a visit to see what the fuck he created and why it's impacting Ron, so they think, in this way.
Hmm.
AKA, we know what's impacting Rufus.
Yes.
But before we visit this inventor, we see what Draken and Shigo have been up to since the lab, and it's not going great.
Oh boy. Okay.
Draken is shouting about how, thanks to this machine, he will finally be able to invent the ultimate doomsday device. Like, I finally now have the power to do anything. But every sketch that he draws of this doomsday device is just like stick figure level schematics. And Shigo is like, yeah, it seems like whatever you thought was going to happen is not happening, my dude. Like, we broke into that lab clearly for nothing. Like,
Nothing.
nothing's
You're
going
the
on
same
here.
man, if not worse off.
Worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is literally just like clicking through the channels on the TV while he like screams. And she's just like, uh-huh. Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure is. Uh-huh. Yeah, the weather.
Oh my gosh. I was
How
like,
about
I
those
should start looking for
Bengals?
a new job
Just
soon. This is this.
exactly. She's scrolling Indeed on the other phone. On the other hand, the remote's
Yeah.
not in. But as she's clicking through the channels, she sees a clip of a boy genius on the TV.
Hmm.
And they're like, wait a second. Is that
We
Kim
know that
Possible's
kid.
sidekick? What's his name? Who's that kid's name?
They never know his name.
They never know his name. It's so funny to me. But they're like, wait, we know that kid. We know he's a fucking idiot. Did they just call him a genius? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
And we cut back to Kim here, who is dropped into a cabin in the middle of the woods where she pounds on the door and this bearded recluse reluctantly cracks open the door. And he's about to slam it shut in Kim's face when she stops it, like she puts her hand on it and says she knows about the project in the lab. And
Uh-oh.
at this, his eyes, like this is such a paranoid man. Like the government has fucked him up. His eyes like
Yeah.
dart around before he like grabs Kim by the shoulder and like yanks her inside before slamming the door shut.
Oh no, he is deep in hiding. Oh
He does
yeah.
not want to be
He
found.
has had a lot of threats against his life,
Yeah, he has been
for
on the
sure.
run for some time now.
Yes. And promise that he will not touch or create anything else until,
No, 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 no.
yeah, certain date, certain. Yep. Wow.
Lots of governments want him.
Hmm.
But luckily, he is kind to Kim. They do get talking, and she's able
Hmm.
to get out of him that, yes, this salon chair thing kind of was an invention on accident. Like, he thought it would just be like a fun, funny thing to make.
Yeah.
And then, of
Yeah.
course, got into the wrong hands, aka the military.
Hmm.
And
Tends to happen.
basically, he silly him. It was like over like a bet at a poker game or something like that. They decided, them as in like him and all of his most genius friends in the world, to like, what if we just recreated all of the brainwave patterns of all of the world's most brilliant scientists that we have brainwave patterns from, and we like
Hmm.
stuff it into a single machine so that if we zap someone with these brainwaves, it basically infuses that person with all of their brain power and they become the ultimate genius in the entire existence of mankind. Wouldn't that be so funny?
Hmm. Wouldn't that be
And
so
he's
fun?
and he said,
You know?
"Hold my beer." I got it. And so that's what he
He's
made.
like, oh, you mean this thing?
Oh, you
The guy
mean
pulls it out
this
already ready.
takes the sheet off
Yeah.
of it?
Yeah. I already made one, by the way.
Yes, easy. But
Oh, good
yes,
Lord.
he
Doesn't
was
sound
like,
smart.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think they were playing some poker and drinking a little bit here.
Yeah.
But yeah, even the military got it. They did lock it away so that no one dangerous gets it because they would be unstoppable if they had it.
Who who gets to define dangerous?
Exactly. Whom's just to say?
Just
Military has it,
exactly.
someone
Yeah.
else has it, whatever.
Hmm.
And Kim in this moment is like, oh, so that's what Draken wanted.
Yeah.
Have an ultimate genius, probably for a doomsday device.
Yeah.
That's what Ron somehow got zapped with. That still doesn't totally make sense, though. He was never in the chair, but somehow he got that, Kim thinks.
Hmm.
And she's realizing, like, oh, wait, this means that if Ron got it, quote unquote, instead of Draken getting it, Draken probably knows Ron got it because he's in the news all the time now, which
Yeah.
probably now means Draken wants Ron.
Yeah. Yikes.
Okay. And at this, the inventor's like, kid, he's not gonna be a
What?
genius forever. Like, it
Oh.
blasts the brain waves. It doesn't rewire your brain. So the genius effects are temporary. Like,
Oh no.
it's gonna go
Uh-oh.
away.
Yeah.
And
Uh-oh.
Kim,
Does he have an estimate of how long it takes to
an
go
ETA,
away?
perhaps
Do you know when this is gonna go away,
like a
sir?
TV
Kind
days
scientist.
situation, or you got an
Yeah.
exact time watch situation here.
Yeah.
But Kim doesn't really know if that's better or worse for Ron.
Hmm.
Who, by the way, as Kim is sitting talking to this inventor, we do see Ron actively being kidnapped by Shigo and Draken,
Oh,
who,
great. On
like
cue.
on cue, yes, they like explode the roof at this conference, and with their like hovercraft, it's like a UFO beam shoots down, and it beams Ron up right from the podium.
Oh no.
And as he gets beamed up, Rufus tumbles out of his pocket. And Ron and Rufus are screaming and reaching for each other, but it's too late. Rufus is out of the beam, and Ron is taken alone.
Oh boy.
So now we've got
Mm.
Rufus alone. He's making his way back to Kim, though. Don't worry.
Uh-huh.
We've got
Okay, good.
Ron being taken to the lair with Shigo and Draken, who think he's a genius. And we've
Yes.
got Kim more worried that Ron is going to revert back to becoming an idiot while they have him than worried that he's a genius because then he could outsmart them. She's like, oh no, he's going to just be Ron again. But little does
Yeah.
she know he was always just Ron again. He was never not the idiot Ron.
He's always been
He was
exactly.
always in danger.
Um, yeah, it's there's so much misunderstanding going on here, and Shigo and
There's,
Draken are about to be so upset and disappointed.
and you know what? Everyone's about to be confuddled
Everyone.
here. The
But
wires are only going to get more crossed here.
super crossed. Yeah.
Super crossed. So Rufus is able to get back to Kim, and he's like crying and squeaking as he's trying to explain what
Um,
happened to Ron. And he's trying to explain to Wade too, who's like talking to Kim. But of
yeah.
course, they don't understand what he's saying. But they're like, yeah, okay, no, we figured out that Ron's fucking gone. And Kim, though, of course, she's not gonna leave like this little adorable little
Yeah.
guy just like crying. So she like gets him some stuff to kind of like comfort him, but it's more kind of just being like, like kids being like, look at me. And you're like, yeah, great. Here's like a ball. Keep yourself busy.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
distract yourself.
Yeah.
So she just like gives him some like craft
Like a
supplies,
toy or
just kind of
something.
just, yeah, like keep yourself
Oh.
quiet. Like the adults are talking, me and Wade
Yeah,
right
like I
now.
hear you. I hear you. Go sit over there.
Yeah, sit in the
Yeah.
corner. We'll let you know when we want your input,
We
which we
figure things
won't.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But in moments, Rufus squeaks again and Kim turns around, and Rufus has created like a Pablo Picasso cubist masterpiece of Kim.
Of Kim.
And it's like, squeak, 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 squeak. And Kim
Oh.
and Wade are like, wait, what the fuck? And
Please
Wade
tell
is
me you just
like,
pulled that out of your pocket, Rufus, because you
you're right,
bought it
right,
from an art dealer a minute
right.
ago.
This was my early birthday present. Early
Yeah,
birthday present.
thanks.
You guys have
Thanks,
been
man.
traveling around the world and you really missed me, so you got me this, right? Right,
Yeah,
Rufus?
right?
Right? You naked mole rat, right? But Wade gets a little idea here, and he's able to comb back through all of the footage of Iran at these different press events, helping different like world
Mm,
leaders out. Of
Yeah.
course, he's able to enhance that image,
Enhance,
obviously.
enhance,
Enhance, enhance,
enhance.
enhance. Until they're able to zoom in enough on Ron's sleeve where they see Rufus's cutest little claws and little nose poking out of Ron's sleeve. And yes,
Hmm.
they're able to confirm that it is Rufus, who we knew, but they
Yeah.
finally realize
Yes.
became the super
The real
genius.
genius. Yeah. Hmm.
Yes.
And now they're
Um,
like, oh shit, sorry, respect.
oh, yeah. Will you sign
Oh,
that painting, Rufus?
here, let me take this toy away from you. What do you think we should do, Rufus?
Literally, not only that, but they're like, we might have a time limit on this now to find
Oh, that's
Ron
right. They
with
know
this
that part.
genius.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But yes, in this moment, they're relieved because they're like, oh, thank God, it was never Ron who was the genius. Like we have the genius with us. But
Rufus,
again,
cool, you're a genius. More importantly,
our
Wade is like,
egos
I am
are
still the
intact.
smartest here.
Yes.
Kim, you are still the second smartest
Our egos are
here.
still on
Rufus,
lock, and we
you're
know,
typically the third smartest, and you will
yes,
be.
you will be again soon. We're not
Yeah.
worried. We feel
The
secure
order
again.
will be back to normal.
Yeah. Nature will heal. Okay.
Give us a
We'll get
moment.
we'll get there soon.
Yeah.
So yes, but again, they're like, well, time is a tick in one because we need Rufus to try and help us find them now, and two, it's only a matter of time until Shigo and Draken realize that
Yeah.
Ron is just
Just
Ron,
Ron.
just Ron, which
Yeah.
puts him in the most danger, perhaps I would say.
Literally, yes.
So they get Rufus over to like get this rat to a computer. He hops on that computer and just starts clicking and squeaking away like crazy. And he's able to figure out where Draken and Shigo took his best friend.
Okay.
So they start heading to this lair. And what's going on with this best friend at this moment?
Yes. Tell me.
So Draken and Shigo, yes, bring him to a lair where, of course, they start out by threatening him by holding him over a giant pool full of piranhas until he
Mm.
agrees to, yes, use his genius to help them build a doomsday machine. So, of course, he's like, yeah, sure can,
I
sure
can
would
do
love
that.
to, would be honored. Most deaf.
Ugh.
So they put him into a room. It's like looks like I don't know, like they're like break room or something like that. It's got a bunch of like machines and tools and like household appliances in there. It's like their junk room or something like that, like their invention junk room.
Mm.
And Ron is like, I work alone. Obviously, that's how genius works. You should get out of
Give me
this
my
room.
space.
Get out of this room. And so they're like, okay, fine. They shut the door. Ron in there is just like, Rufus will find me. Rufus has got to find me.
He always does.
He always does. He's in there just like banging, I don't know, like a wrench on like a washing machine, being like, oh, this is totally where so much terror, so much doom.
Yeah.
Yes, metal, 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 wrench noise. Please
Wrench
hurry up,
noise.
Rufus.
Oh no.
And
He's
of
very
course,
convincing. A very
there
convincing
he's an
act.
actor.
Well done, Ron. Yeah.
Yes, and of course, Rufus and Kim are able to find Ron, who, by the way, as they get there, Kim, like, she's got her little gloves on, and she like moves it into this way, and like this basically it's like a spider web, like Spider-Man style, come out, and she was like, "Oh,
Mm.
wait, Rufus, did you modify my weapons for me on the trip over here?" And he goes, "Squeak, squeak," and she's like, "Thank
A big
you."
yes. He's like, it was no big deal.
Yeah, but yeah,
Translation, squeak,
they're pretty
squeak.
lame. He looks at Wade, and Wade's like, "You'll be third again soon enough." Squeak,
Order
squeak.
will be restored. Wade's
I'll
like, I could have done
make
that too
it.
if I had more time. I'm always responding to the emails,
Yeah,
though.
I have to do this
Yeah,
website upkeep
I'm so
too. It's
busy.
hard, okay?
Yeah.
So, yes, they are able to break into the lair. And just as they're doing this, Draken has burst into the room Ron was in because he was fed up with like Ron was taking too long and obviously full of shit. And
Hmm.
sees like this giant household appliance contraption that's just a bunch of things like duct taped together. And he's like, all right, to the piranhas with you. And chucks
You
Ron
didn't give me a
right into that
chance.
piranha pool. You didn't even need to show. Look what
Let
you
me
gave me to work
explain.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to
I don't have
make
my
it
usual
work.
tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't work
AKA
under these
Rufus.
conditions. AKA
Yeah.
Rufus, yeah. And so he throws Ron into the piranha pool. But
Mm,
luckily, I said these happen simultaneously. Kim is breaking through that roof and she's able to shoot a web like right above the piranhas, which is able to basically act like a trampoline for Ron. And he's able to like bounce out of the pool and escape from his watery, toothy grave. And it's like a really
mhm.
deep pool too, not just like a
Okay.
swimming pool. So it's like a
He can't
pit
like
of
just climb out.
piranhas,
Yeah.
perhaps. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, of course, he and Kim start to fight Shigo and Draken, but Draken is able to briefly like run to some of his controls, which open up another door, and we see giant robots. Of course, he always has them,
Loves
start
them.
to stream in, and they all start focusing on Kim, who was kind of like near the pool when she dropped in. And
Yeah.
they're actually able to like knock her over the edge of the pool and like she's just hanging on by her fingertips at this point on the very edge.
Oh, yeah.
And Ron, again, seeing another
Right.
best friend who just tried to save his butt, now in peril, he's trying to step in and save her too. But these knights just, they're like huge. They're like at least two or three people tall. And they're
Oh,
like
wow.
robot knights, by the way. They're like in armor.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And
Well,
so
on the one
very
side,
tough.
it sounds like Draken figured out robotics one way or
You know
another.
what? These don't
These ones don't.
malfunction.
Okay, yeah. I was
These
like,
ones
these
are
don't
doing
sound
good.
like they're messing anything up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so far so good, and they won't
Okay.
malfunction. But
Okay. Huh.
yeah, they are very strong. So yes, he did figure them out, and they're able to like throw Ron away.
Hmm.
But Ron falls right into his quote unquote doomsday device,
Oh no.
which is literally it's just like an office
What is
rolly
it?
chair with like a bunch of like household appliances, like a bunch of vacuums all around it, like I don't know, microwave up in there, some like laundry, like it's a shit show. But
Did Draken not even have like the start, the beginnings of a machine of a
no,
device? He
all of
just
his drawings
literally
was literally like a stick figure
it's
next to
that's it.
like a circle, which was a bomb. Like those were his drawings.
So the doomsday device is just the bomb.
Yeah, well, how to get there, unsure, unclear.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I, Grace, get to Mars? Let me just draw a picture of a rocket and yada yada yada, I'm there.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
The yada
Exactly.
yada yada is very important when it comes to science and
It's a
weaponry.
scientific term.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
the scientific method, part of mine at least. So as Ron slams into this device, he accidentally kind of sort of turns all of the vacuums on, and they're all kind of like in a circle around the rolly chair. And so
Yeah.
they all start basically like spinning him because they're all trying to go like force against different directions, which starts
Hmm.
spinning him and spinning him and spinning him. There's no steering on this thing, obviously. Why
Of
would Ron have done
course.
that?
No, he doesn't know that.
No. And also somehow it starts shooting lasers everywhere because in the pile of things there was some type of laser gun that Draken had thrown in
Okay.
there, and Ron just
Okay.
strapped that
Okay.
shit on. First good thing he did, correct in
Yeah.
building this machine. He was
Yeah.
right.
A doomsday device needs a laser. That's
Needs a
okay.
laser.
Yeah.
That's all. That's actually as far as Draken got. He like put the laser in
He
there and
made
was
the
like,
laser. Yeah.
now continue.
The rest. Now turn this
Here's
into
my
a
schematics.
Death Star. Yeah.
The bomb laser. Thank
Yeah.
you, boy
There you
genius.
go. I'll check in 15 minutes. Is that
Yeah,
good?
have it done. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yes, Ron, is now spinning uncontrollably with a thing that's shooting lasers everywhere and is
Great.
able to spin into all of the knights, shoot all of the knights, like blast the knights into oblivion, which gives Kim a chance to pull herself up from the pool and escape the piranhas. And she's
Yeah.
able to use her like modified glove to shoot a giant web at Draken and Shigo, basically trapping them so that Ron, Rufus, and Kim can escape,
Hmm.
which they do. They dust
Oh,
themselves
good.
off. They get back
Okay.
home. They're like, this was such a silly mishap. They get right back to doing that
Sorry about it,
homework.
Mensa.
Yeah, maybe Kim is tutoring Ron again, being like, okay, you seems you've learned nothing as you were a genius. So, or
You
working with
seem to have
another
actually
genius.
regressed.
You're not even
I think you got
pre-algebra
a head
anymore.
injury or
We're
something,
going
and
back a
then
little bit here.
yeah,
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 you were those household appliances did a number on you. Too many microwaves or something near your head.
yes.
And so while she's tutoring Ron, we see Wade and Rufus going head to head in another code off.
Oh,
And it turns out Rufus still number one, baby. Or
oh
maybe
shit.
he always was. And just let Wade feel better about himself for a little bit because
Yeah,
Rufus wins every single match. And that's the end.
that's the end.
That's the end.
So perhaps this does not wear off for naked mole rats. It only
I
wears
mean,
off for
the
mere
like
humans.
the
Us mere
decay
humans could never
time,
understand.
how like
Yeah.
nuclear waste has like whatever decay or like certain materials have like the
So
decay
yeah,
life and stuff.
the half-life or whatever. Yeah.
Half-life, yeah. Rufus is way longer. He's so much smaller and he got that full blast still. Or again, he was just
It's
like, I'll let the
highly
humans
concentrated.
think that they're smarter than
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
It
It's
actually
like,
didn't ever work when because there were two heads in the device, so neither Rufus or Draken got the brain waves.
yeah, Rufus is
But
just confident to
yeah, Rufus is just
okay,
like, I
I'll
gotta
finally
help my
show my
friend
true
out
self.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's failing math. We can't get help back.
I can't let him fail math.
I gotta
It's
help
like,
him
this is how I
out.
thought you did the equations. I thought you had to
Yeah.
start from, I
From
thought you
chaos
always had to
theory.
pull quantum physics and chaos
Yeah.
theory into
Yeah,
algebra
full
one.
randomization, quantum
Yeah.
physics, words I didn't
Yeah.
know when I looked up chaos theory and decided I would
Yeah.
never try and explain it to you on this podcast.
Again, just
Because
sum
I
that up by
looked.
saying Jeff Goldblum and Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
That's
sum it up by saying
basically it.
watch a shirtless Jeff Goldblum with Jurassic. I mean, watch Jurassic
Yes.
Park.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Basically.
yeah. Watch the dinosaurs. That's all we're in it for.
Well done. Incredible.
Thank you. Yes, I'm glad Rufus got
Rufus
some spotlight.
shines.
He
Rufus
did. He
shines. And it's
deserved
making
it.
me wonder. So, what episode did you say this, or what season was this from?
This is season 2,
Season.
episode 1.
Okay. Because it's making me wonder. I'm like, rethinking my next episode, which is obviously our last episode to see. Is Rufus
What's
still a genius in
Rufus
that? I
been
mean,
up
I
to?
always think he's been a genius, but
Again, but he could just be
yeah,
playing it down for.
yeah,
We
exactly.
saw the egos flare when they thought Ron was smarter than him.
Yes,
Rufus is
he
like,
knows.
I got to keep the
It gets
peace.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. He's like, I
the
don't want them
egos of
hating me.
humans.
Yeah,
Exactly. I got to.
fragile little beings.
They're so fragile. Those
Those
egos.
naked mole rats are so
Flick them.
strong.
They
Hey,
are.
again, anyone who's willing to just walk around naked like that all the time takes a lot of confidence and
Like
strength and mental
confidence.
fortitude.
Oh yeah.
These naked mole
Rufus,
rats.
nothing can shake
And
him. Nothing.
the last thing I will say here is my brain the entire episode was just thinking Mathatouille.
Wow.
Or I was going to say something like Rain Man or something.
No,
If not Good Will
Mathatouille is
Hunting,
perfect.
I was like naked rain rat. I don't know. I don't know.
I think
Trying
that's
to
an
think of Rain Man, but
exhibit at Burning
Mathatouille is what
Man
I
is
stuck
Naked Rain
on.
Man.
Yeah,
Naked Rain Man.
that hits different.
I think that's actually an EDM
Or
festival.
Rainmaker. Was it Rainmaker or Rain Man? I think that movie's
Rain
Rainmaker. Is that
Man's
what I'm thinking?
Rain
Is it
Man
Rain
is
Man?
is like the
Okay.
serious
Yeah,
one,
no,
yeah.
Rainmaker might be something different. Okay. Stop naming so
Anyways,
many movies similarly, damn it.
I
Anyways,
know
yes.
truly they all come
So
together in this
great job.
perfectly.
Great
Thank you.
job.
Very fun episode.
Yes.
Was very happy when I
hmm
realized it was a Rufus episode. I was
Yes.
like, I'm doing
Great way
whatever happens, I'm
to
doing
put
it.
a
Rufus is the
bow on
star.
yours. Yes.
Yes, yes. And so between now and next week for your final, for now, Kim Possible episode,
Mm.
who should our listeners and viewers tell about this podcast?
Um, this week you should tell someone who's in Mensa.
Oh,
hmm
yes.
Yeah,
I
someone who's in
love
Mensa.
this
So tell a
episode.
genius, and
Wow.
they will laugh at us.
Oh, they don't know chaos theory? Stupid.
Stupid. Yeah. Who should they tell?
You should tell an idiot.
Someone who is not in Mensa.
Tell someone who doesn't even know. I mean, I can't say doesn't know what Mensa is because a lot of people don't probably know what it is.
Yeah,
It's a
I
very
don't even know what it
outdated
stands
situation
for.
as our
And
IQ test.
yes,
But
yes.
like, just tell your stupidest person you know. Tell your stupidest friend. Stupidest, your most stupid friend. And they'll never know.
Could you imagine once they get to this episode, they'll be like,
once they get to this part,
was that me?
Yeah. Wait a second. Hold on. What's Mensa? Am I in Mensa?
Who told me about this episode?
Wait a second.
Interesting. Yep. Rethink that friendship. Yeah.
Hey, lost demo. The idiots.
We love the highly educated. We love the poorly educated.
Get them in here.
Love them all.
Wow, love them all.
And on that note,
we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.